Hi, everybody. My name is Andrew Buchanan, and I am here on behalf of Project LUMIÈRE. This segment is called The Pivot. It is an interview series designed to highlight individuals in our industry that have been able to pivot and find a new way forward in our new normal. So it's basically just to inspire people and show people there is a way forward. So I was an active artist on Cirque du Soleil. I worked in casting, and now I am one of the founders of Creative Athletic Performance.
And my name is Laura-Ann Chong. I've been with Cirque du Soleil for the last 8 years as well. Most recently, for the past 7, I was an active artist touring with Luna. And today I am so pleased to have with us the founding members of No Stage, No Problem. Thank you guys so much for being here. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. I'm Kevin Beverly. I'm an acrobat, a dancer, and an aerialist.
I'm Brent Lavanis. I'm a generalist.
I'm Alana Baker. I'm an acrobat and aerialist.
I'm Philippe Belanger. I'm a unicyclist and hand-to-hand boarder.
My name's Carolyn Morgan, and I'm a stage manager.
Thank you guys. And just so all of you know, No Stage, No Problem's mission is to preserve live entertainment by creating international streaming events while connecting and contributing to our global community. So thank you guys so much for that. I think that's amazing. So let's just get started. How did you all come together and come up with the idea of No Stage, No Problem? What inspired you to live stream a global circus event, and what was the ultimate goal?
Pandemic.
Bam!
Yeah.
I think we were all shocked by what was happening, and we were all trying to find a solution of, keep what we had and what we do best, and how can we find a solution to present it differently without having an audience, next to us.
In a completely different format.
Yeah. Exactly. So.
And we had traveled together with Cirque du Soleil as well. We were all together, not all together. We've all worked together in different ways on different shows. We were on different shows at the time and still connected, and had since left at different times. But there's something that keeps bringing us back together. And I think at that pandemic time, we were on the phone together trying to not only figure it out as individuals and what are we doing in this, but then very quickly, okay, what are we doing as artists and entertainers, and this thing that that fuels us and fuels our community, and how do we connect with that? And
yeah, it kind of started as a friendship, just checking in on each other.
Yeah.
Just like so bored, and also like what is going on? Like actually what is going on? And I left Volta
last summer.
Yeah, like 6 months or 7 months prior. She left Volta 3 months prior. So we were just kind of checking in on each other, and slowly it transitioned into, you know what, like we could make something happen. Like, why don't we?
Yeah, and there's such a void left with, never before has all of the live entertainment been almost sucked out globally. There was no show that was running anywhere.
Yeah.
We wanted to do it, and
I think that's interesting, because that's kind of how Project LUMIÈRE started as well. A group of us just wanted to reach out to everyone because we knew so many of us were struggling, and we have such a community, but at the same time our like home bases all kind of broke right at once, and so everything felt like it was shattered.
Everyone spread out,
and where people, I think, in some other experiences, went home to families. And we did that as well, but in our lifestyle and traveling as we do, our family becomes that community that we established on tour. And now that we're all so away from each other, I think just finding any way to reconnect and have that sense of community in this time that it's necessary to be so far apart.
Right. I think it's amazing. One of the most impressive things for me is that you were able to assemble these people from across the globe to do a live circus contest. So what was that like logistically? And was it a situation where everybody just reached out to you when they heard it was happening, or did you have to go and like find people?
We initially reached out to our friends and those that we knew would be a good opportunity for them to be able to perform. And then we also wanted to reach outside of our circle. So it wasn't just our friends that were involved, and we didn't want to just do circus. We wanted to make it a variety show from all over the world, and make it a time where it was suitable for everyone, which is why we went for midday in Vegas.
Yeah. And it was like, what time zone? Like, okay, we know people in Montreal, we know people in Vegas, and what about Europe? And it really was like finding that kind of sweet spot in the day where it's not too late, not too early.
It was super important for us to really reach out and try to get an international live show because we didn't see that happening. And also, we all come from different parts of the world. We know so many different international people that are incredible and can shine in that light. So that was really important. And also what Alana said, we were very clear that we didn't want to be circus. We wanted a wide range. And so that took a little bit of us searching and casting, which was kind of fun.
Yeah, and I love that. I love how you guys included musicians into there and dancers and other random acts. you guys kind of did everything. It was awesome.
And as far as, like, I remember in those early days, we were talking about it a little bit before we signed on with you guys. As we were coming together and not sure how we were going to connect both together and do a project together, but then also connect to that vast community, that global international circus community. And then, okay, as we were brainstorming this or that, and I think it was you that were like, well, let's just set a date and do it. And we weren't really sure how logistically, we weren't really sure, that there wasn't necessarily a playbook for that or how we do a live streaming. We had certainly other organizations to look to who were trying it themselves and learned a lot from them. I think we kind of went out and saw what other people were doing and took the things we liked and maybe saw some things that we would like to try, focus on kind of amping up the production quality. And we just kind of set a date and did it. We really learned as we went.
Andy, to add on to logistics,
I think all of us got paired together. Like that was a group clinch.
I mean, I don't know how long this interview is.
Right. Well, it was just so impressive to see that, and you guys put in the effort to do it. Like a lot of people would have thought that was too daunting and given up halfway through. There's a lot of great ideas, but the fact that you guys followed through.
It was daunting. Yeah.
Even the night before, we were having computer issues, and so we were up until 4 a.m. and we had to show around the next morning. So it was stressful.
I think you were in your mask that time. I think it was a picture of Alana laying on the ground in her mask, Kevin rolling around in the office chair.
A complete nightmare. Not small problems, huge streaming problems that we had to figure out. And we had to get an external person to come in to fill in.
We reached out to about 5 external.
We reached out to everyone. We had a friend of ours come help us during a pandemic. So masks on, it was madness. And then,
well, I'm sure everybody in the community appreciates it. You gave people a chance to actually have something to look forward to,
100%. So what was the feedback once you guys aired?
Feedback was amazing, honestly. Everyone was kind of everyone needed it at the time. It was very wow,
it was appreciated.
Yeah, it was appreciated. There was a lot of things that we needed to learn from it. There was a lot with the mistakes, with the good moves as well. It was
very positive. We felt so supported by.
I think we're surprised.
Yeah, we not only because we knew our friends were going to tune in and support us no matter what and post on Instagram, and which we appreciated so much, but it was the outer circles of people that we had no idea who they were. They were so ecstatic about it, and family members. Since we're homeschooling, my kids got to watch it, and that was amazing. That was so cool because we didn't expect
awesome. So I'm also wanted to put a spotlight on the fact that you guys didn't just reach out to the performing arts community in terms of getting acts together and streaming it, but you guys also put in time to find organizations to raise money towards and donate and raise funds during the actual stream. That was one of the goals. So I'm just wondering if you can tell us a little bit about the organizations that you did choose and what made you decide to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, our first one was when we got together in the beginning. It was pretty important for us to find an organization that was giving back to what was happening around us, the COVID issue,
because that was early April, I think.
Yeah.
It was very
So the hospitals were overrun. Everyone was very scared, and so that was
here and abroad.
Yeah, that was half of our driving force. Was let's find something that gives back, not just because we're performers, we love attention, but we want to give other performers attention, but we knew that there's huge problems going on. And so what can we do to help?
Exactly, and that's exactly it. It was how do we use our skills, what we do so naturally and have such a drive for, to be able to help internationally to be able to help our, humankind really at that moment, and it's still now.
Yeah.
And how can we serve in this moment, in this time?
Totally. And just to add to that, like I got the feeling that a lot of us were, as far as choosing a foundation, we were like, oh, let's just go with, Red Cross or WHO. And it was really Carol Ann who was like, no, let's really do our research. Let's find one that we agree with, that we know where the money is going. And so we ended up finding Direct Relief, which was a much smaller one, which was really special because we actually put our time and effort into finding out about who they were, and we contacted them.
Just as important, I think, as far as making sure there was variety in our show, was that the money that we were raising was going to something that not only we could feel aligned with, that the artists that we were reaching out to could feel aligned with, and our audience as well, and inspire them to be able to give what they could, or even to learn more about what those guys were doing. So the first one was very much healthcare COVID focused in that moment, and I don't even remember what the second one was meant to be.
We were going to do COVID again.
Yeah.
We were going to do
another organization,
children. Project Hope. We were going to do another foundation.
And aligning in some different values. I think we were more focusing on children. But as we were putting that performance together over Labor Day, and with what happened at the end of May.
Unfortunately, with George Floyd's death.
I know. I think I want to actually it's hard to even.
Yes,
it's painful, but such a pivotal moment for so many things, and the way that we process that as human beings. And it was so clear to us in that moment. I think we came together that morning, and it was clear to us that we need to take a pause, as the whole world is doing right now with 2020, with COVID, with everything that this year is serving. The teacher of 2020 is serving us. That we needed to pause both for ourselves as individuals and to be able to introspect and to look within ourselves and how we were serving.
Right.
Yeah,
but then also
be
as
able to do
artists.
the right thing, yeah.
Exactly.
Not only to pause because we felt like it wasn't right, but also we felt for us, 5 were white people. We were like, this is our time to also look inside ourselves and really think about things. And it was life-changing. I mean,
absolutely. And then to be able to turn around and to do it, so we had the time for us, our individual selves, and of course the cast as well. As performers and entertainers, we put so much of what ourselves on that stage, and for the people who are on the stage and in front of house, and all of the skills that it takes to do that is such a work of passion that it takes so much of yourself to do it. And because we needed that time to look inward and to have that, but our cast needed that too. I think it was not a climate, or we didn't feel right by asking them to perform or asking our audience to come join us. It wasn't the time for that, and it was amazing.
Debbie, oh my God, our host was so into this, and she was
we had a show planned.
Yeah,
we had our cast ready. We had our meetings with our cast. We had meetings with our hosts, and then we woke up in the morning and we contacted everyone. We said, we are putting this on hold. And every single one of them were like, this is the right decision. We really appreciate you making this decision. And our hosts, not only did we pivot, not only did we pivot our intention, but our host ran with it. We
were able to, how do we use our art to then reflect what we've done as individuals?
Exactly.
And it was great. Yeah, Debbie really was such an integral part of, okay, how do we take what we've planned and then pivot, whether it be certain host segments or, what other artists can we get involved and spotlight. And it really set us in another direction, which I think we were super appreciative for. And it was the second performance was different, and we learned different things, different reactions there. But yeah, we're really excited about the feedback that we've gotten from the community. Again, the recognition from you guys is really exciting, and it's even nice to have know that our friends are watching on Twitch. It's nice to be able to bring those audiences together.
I think that's so great. You guys spoke to what live entertainment is all about, right? We're always having to adapt to what's going on.
I think it's a good lesson for, big shows when they do come back. You need to be sensitive to the world around you and sensitive to your performers and yourselves as artists, and be honest and look inside sometimes. And I think when you get caught up in the big machines of the big shows, you got to put yourself out there all the time, no matter what. And
it's scary. It's scary to look inside and really reflect. That's it's a very hard thing, and many people can't do it. And many people don't want to take the time to do it. So COVID was almost a blessing in disguise that everyone had that moment to really look inside.
And even double fold, live entertainment and art in general, I think is such a great tool for us to be able to look inside of ourselves and to be able to look inside of ourselves as a community.
Right.
So it was
but we agree. We also hope once shows do come back that they can also take that reflection and make art with it.
I don't think we're gonna have a choice.
Definitely.
I think we're, as coming out of this 2020 experience, we'll have to bring our full selves to whatever that is and see what live entertainment is in the future.
For sure. Yeah, like the pandemic really was like this massive earthquake that shook the entire world, you know, and for us performing arts as well, you know, Kev, when we connected earlier over Instagram, you had messaged me a message that really stood out. You know, you said how we all lost our jobs at the same time, our lifestyles, our communities, and even our identities, you know. And that's something that I know a lot of us are struggling to find again and just kind of work towards. So I'm wondering, how has collaborating with each other helped not only yourselves, but how do you think it's helped our community find its light again?
Such a great question.
We're so
it's deep
with that we are unable to.
I think it's like the creative process at the end of the day is some of the most enjoyable thing that was about it, you know, because we're creators, we're there to entertain and going through like finding solutions and, you know, not only the creative process of what we were presenting, but how we were going to present it, who we were, finding a name, finding like how, all of that was a lot, but it was super, because we went through like very different kind of project before really like, okay, that's just going to be, you know, that we're streaming a live show. And it was a matter of like finding that structure as well for us to identify ourselves. And
getting creative is our identity, you know, like that's part of it. And without that, you feel definitely a little bit lost. So just collaborating with each other and like bouncing off ideas and getting creative, that already just that helped us find a little bit more of who we were and like, oh, things were less heavy. But also the live performance aspects, giving the audience kind of what we felt everyone needed. We got so many messages from people that were like, oh, we were smiling so much. It felt so good to see live performance, you know, and that I think helped people.
It's validating.
Yeah, and even for the performers to be able to perform live, even though it's through a screen, like they still had the pre-show like jitters. So it was, even us, even we did, like it was crazy.
I was surprised. Also at the interaction, the reaction that we got from the community, but exactly like how sitting in front of your screen while we could review so much of how it's not the same, but it really, I felt like I was doing a show. I had all the nervies.
It was, for me and Phil at least, it was the most nervous we've ever been. Like it was so scary. Especially
I remember going to log on, like my friend in Europe had told me about No Stage, No Problem because I didn't know about it yet. And he was like, oh, you have to log in, you have to watch this. And I'm like, okay, what the heck is Twitch? What is this even? But then I was like logged in 15 minutes before, you know, ready to see a show. Like I was so excited.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That just made me
I know.
Exactly.
But also because there was only so much we could do. If someone had a technical issue, we had to put it on hold and hope we were going to get it sorted. Like it was
a learning experience.
Well, and it's also, you guys created this human connection. I know it's virtual, but it's still live and it's a human connection that there's a lot of lonely people. You know, I was lucky. I was in quarantine with my wife and we were connected, but there's a lot of people out there that aren't, and they're not with people from their industry. Maybe they're with somebody, but there's nobody like show people, like who really get it. So you guys are creating this place where people can connect, and it's I think that's so important right now. That's what Project LUMIÈRE is all about, is helping people connect with each other and, you know, get through it together, because, you know, it's not something that you should be alone for, you know, or isolated.
It's just such a part of our daily life and existence. It's, you know, what we work for. I think every, you know, mini decision we make throughout the day is a focus, that show at 8 o'clock, you know, and how are we our best selves you know, whether you're doing something maybe a little naughty, you're still thinking, am I going to be able to perform, you know, and be there for and show up for my community.
So now streaming, let's talk about that. So do you think, this is obviously going to be the new normal for a while, but do you think when the industry comes back, do you think streaming shows or performances or contests, do you think that's going to be part of our new normal when everything goes back to normal?
I think
we're also going through that process ourselves, and it's definitely a question that we don't have a clear answer and that we're figuring out. And it's also like why we're all here in Vegas. It's because we want to like get together and find, okay, what is going to be, you know, next step forward, and because we do want to grow and keep creating, but you know, how do we present it and what do we create as well? We want to keep, stepping up the.
Well, I think something that we all agree on and that we do know is that the live stream, it doesn't replace live entertainment. It's not. It will never be the same.
Yeah. And
that's something that we reflect on a bunch and where we are. This trip that we just started, we're going to be talking about a lot more. It just doesn't hit.
Doesn't carry the same.
When there's like no live shows, it's nice. When there are live shows, then it's like.
But but I do think, as with so many things in this moment in time, new normal and also what that future holds is going to be some kind of probably some kind of integration of this. And just like you know, we break into new markets, we have in a way been given an opportunity to explore that new market. And I think not only us as creators and entertainers, but all over the industry, things are starting to brew and pop up. And, you know, some things have been successful and we've taken from this. Okay, well, how do we sing together on Zoom? And how do we do this? And what about the audience? And we've certainly found things that work. You know, we've seen live performances where maybe another, you know, scene partner or another person who's performing is being streamed in. So some of that, integrating that into what we do for live performance will be cool to see. And I think it's another tool in our toolbox as far as telling stories and connecting to audiences. Yeah. And it'll be exciting how it's used, but man, we just need to hear that applause. that in-person connection, you just can't replace it. But we're excited of the audience that has been created online, both with No Stage No Problem and far-reaching, you know, for people who are able to see circus and variety entertainment that wouldn't be able to see it in other ways, for a variety of experiences. And it's cool to be able to reach those folks as well and connect with them. And I hope it's a tool in the toolbox as far as storytelling and entertainment.
Well, and I think something you guys did really well and something really smart that you did was you made it international. So there's not really any place where anybody can afford to bring all of these people from all over the world to one place. So I think for the future, when things do come back, the fact that you are international and you are bringing in performers from everywhere in the world, that's going to be a strength for you guys for sure.
Yeah. It's a strength to the circus community as a whole.
Yeah, for sure.
Really. I think in general, entertainment, I think, you know, by working with each other, we also, you know, find the differences and the way, you know, things that we have and the different ways of thinking about things, and that serves us in many ways.
So what is next? Do you guys have anything planned for the future? Anything to tell everybody about, or are there any secrets?
And we've teased it a little bit, but we've come together to answer that question.
Yeah.
As Phil mentioned.
Yep.
We came here, Brandon, for his bachelor party, but also we were like, this is a really good time for us to come together and brainstorm what's next. Right. And so this interview is falling at like a perfect moment.
Yeah.
When you messaged me, like, maybe we do one person, I was like, wait, 1 week and we'll all be together.
Well, can you post all your information on the Project LUMIÈRE website, Facebook page, and just tell people where they can find you, about the organizations that you support, and how others can support as well, because I think that's wonderful. Well,
thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your bachelor party weekend to come together and share some awesome insight into what it takes to, you know, it doesn't take a lot to just say, yeah, let's just do it. Right? Like, you guys were there, you didn't have all the answers, but you were like, no, we're going to do this. And you guys have done some really amazing things so far.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Really,
you.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.